Dre, they of course after the game when we do a post-game podcast, we call it a winner's lounge when they win, and the Nuggets guys of course found the winner's lounge. But I mean, this right here, this feels like another winner's lounge after, for me and for you, I can tell just by the shades, just a shining weekend at the DraftKings Sportsbook.
It was a beautiful, beautiful weekend. That's so true. You kind of did it again. It wasn't, what'd you get those odds at for Albert O touchdowns and Broncos victory?
Albert O. So they didn't actually offer the Albert O touchdown and Broncos victory. They do offer like to score and win, but they didn't have Albert Okwuegbunam in there. So I just had Albert O to score at plus 650.
So you had that. Then on Twitter, you called the combo, which to me is like a take parlay. So it might as well count as a double up. We also add the Broncos to cover the spread. I've explained on Twitter. You'll see my pick as the opposite. I have now managed with my Twitter picks. Every time I pick against the Broncos against the spread, the Broncos win outright. So you're welcome for that free money. I will keep that up. And I assume the Broncos will basically never lose a game again the rest of the season. So that was a beauty to see. I loved my prop of the Cowboys under 16.5. That hits. Bang, bang. I steered you away 2 overs on that passing yards.
Yep, I owe you a shot.
I'm going to take a little credit for that. I also believe I suggested the Ben DiNucci under in our tailgate, and he didn't even hit 200 yards. So that was a beauty. Yeah, it was good. And actually college, I did well, much better than the NFL, where I did have some ugly losses, like the stupid Bills not being able to cover by a half point.
Yeah, that one was tough. The Broncos pulling that off made this from a good betting weekend for me to the best weekend I've ever had. Mostly because I'm not a big parlay guy. I'm just not a big parlay guy, but DraftKings was just offering one boost on a parlay yesterday of 20% for me. And I just figured, you know what? Why not? Why not put one together? A little, I like 2 underdogs today, a lot in the Broncos and the Steelers. I'll just throw those 2 together, put the 20% profit boost on it. The 20% profit boost took it up to plus 705. So, Andre, any day that you hit a plus 705 and a plus 650 in the same day is going to be really good. And I happen to be pretty aggressive on my plays there. So, there you go. I think I quintupled my account yesterday.
That's phenomenal stuff. And I went 4-2 with my picks in college football. I'm honestly kicking myself for not taking your 2 best picks of the weekend, because that was an easy 6-2 for me. And yeah, man, that was good stuff. This was really was a lovely, lovely weekend. And frankly, I needed it because no one wants to see my eyes right now. I'm a bit tired from rewatching that Broncos game last night.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you got a Shades day. Yeah, KC minus 3.5 in quarter one. Both of my locks of the weekend, Ohio State first quarter and Kansas City first quarter, both hit, and they both hit the exact same number, 14-3 in the first quarter for both of them. So easy dubs. I love when you're confident in something and it just bears itself out just as easily as you thought it should have.
Yeah, and we should mention, though, some massive upsets this weekend in the NFL. I talked about some spicy dogs in our pregame show. I mean, you got that parlay, so that was a spicy dog inspired parlay. The Bears make it real close against the Saints, only to fall in OT. The Niners do not pull it through, and then I thought the upset that killed me the most was the Vikings really laying it on the Packers. And I don't know about the Packers.
Could you imagine if you just threw together a Vikings Bengals parlay?
Oh, right. And the Bengals, that was maybe the best upset of all. No, I know. It's phenomenal. It'd be terrific.
Honestly, if you just did a dogs round robin yesterday on the 11 a.m. games and then happened to just throw in the Broncos as well, you would have been rolling in it.
That's true. And then what did you get boosted as your trick or treat on DraftKings?
Don't bring this up.
Oh.
It was Oklahoma State and Texas. plus 200 on whatever you want. And I, of course, took the plus 200 on Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I lost money left, right, and center on stupid Oklahoma State. Texas, man. What a betting dumpster fire that program is becoming. And then stupid
you don't
Kansas
need the
State
betting
got me
into
too.
that.
Well, I guess that's true, but they have pulled off some incredible at least betting upsets. But yeah, no, it was a good one, my friend. It was a good one.
All right. Now we got to stay hot tonight. As the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. I got to be honest, the spread is not juicy. But, Andre, you were so confident last night that the Eagles were going to cover against the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys are really bad, and the Eagles aren't that good. And they covered that 10.5, not easily, but they did cover it. This is a case of a really, really bad Giants team going up against a pretty damn good Buccaneers team. Do you feel similarly about this spread at all?
Now, at 10.5 when this opened, this was more of a stay away. Now that it's inching further and further up to 12.5 for the Bucs, I'm kind of ready to go the other way, where I think, the boys, to me, are truly kind of a unique team in that they're so bad. There's turmoil in the locker room. Third-string quarterback in this kind of odd offseason where that third-stringer can't be as well prepared and still almost blew it. And I misspoke on our NFL preview show saying that the Jets had yet to get a W against the spread. They got a W last 2 weeks ago against the Bills in that massive spread. And, as you were saying, the Cowboys made it close at the end. There's that scoop and score that's debatable. There was definitely some options, even for the lowly Cowboys, to cover that. As much as I'm not a fan of Daniel Jones, I think he's good enough for a little backdoor cover here. And I'm very intrigued by the plus 12.5
here. I know. It makes me sick just thinking about it, honestly.
Only 11% of the money is on that, Ryan.
Like, the only way I'm taking the Giants is Giants money line, just because I'm feeling crazy because I've won so much already this weekend. But I'm trying to stay away from that line of thinking and just trying to take smart bets here.
We've reversed roles so much in the span of this show. It's amazing. You're now the value hunter.
It all depends on where I am in my account. When I'm running low, I know. When I'm running low, I become conservative. Just get dubs any way you can.
That's right.
Then I get up big, and I'm like, all right, well, my account's here. Why don't I try to make some real money here?
Right. It's all gravy then. Yep.
It's a terrible strategy because I just end up back where I was before, and it's just a vicious cycle that goes on forever. But
indeed,
I do not like the 12.5 for the Buccaneers. Now, that doesn't make me like the 12.5 for the Giants. For me, the spread is just a stay away.
Yeah, it's a fun fade the public bet for me.
Yeah, I really can't see myself betting on Daniel Jones. So that leads me into other possible scenarios here, and that brings me to the props. Of course, the headline of this show, the two best props for Monday Night Football. I went through these a lot, and I've combed it down to two that I really like. We went through these together and just kind of came to the two that we both agreed on. We'll start there, and then we'll work our way through some of the other stuff and just see what else pops out to us. For me, the first one that stuck out that I really like is Ronald Jones over 61.5 rushing yards.
Yeah.
It just feels like a lock to me because I think they're going to be up comfortably in the game and want to control the game on the ground.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Just you think through how this game should play out. The Bucs should have a nice lead and try to milk that clock and really feed Ronald Jones, who has been pretty darn good this season. That Giants front, where they're really heavy, they kind of start like 3 defensive tackles on their front. That gives me a little pause, but the number is low enough to where I feel comfortable on this one.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're one good run away from winning this, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great 22-yard run. You get that, you're going to win this bet.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that I really like here is Rob Gronkowski over 3.5 receptions.
Yep.
Now his usage is not what you would expect it to be.
No.
So you could be talking to the fact that this might be a sucker's bet. What I love about this bet is when those two get their chemistry going, you usually get a drive where Brady targets him 3, maybe 4 times just in one drive. Mm-hmm. And I think that could happen early in this game, and you just get these out of the way quick and end up winning this bet pretty easily.
Well, and his usage has really increased in the offense, especially since O.J. Howard's out, right? So starting with the Broncos week, 7 targets, 6 receptions. Chargers, 3 targets, 1 reception. Then 6 targets, 3 receptions, 8 targets, 5 receptions, 8 targets, 5 receptions. So you love how that's trending up. 3.5 almost seems like a bit of a conservative number at -150. I think that's decent value right there.
It is decent value. And again, to me, these are like, if you can get these in chunks, you're going to win these. The same thing as the running back one. I do think Ronald Jones probably breaks off one big run, and you just, it's easy money for you. The same thing as this. There's one drive where Gronk gets 3 catches, and maybe in the span of 5 plays, and you're one away from that point on. So love those two. Because it's been so successful for me in these big spread games, I might just have to go back to Old Faithful here, Andre, and take Tampa Bay Buccaneers -2.5 in the first quarter.
That's not a bad play. That's not a bad play at all. First quarters, you do really well.
Yep, I am the first quarter king.
And it's the greatest. First quarter's hit, money's back in the account. It's time to, it's time to lose some more. It's beautiful. Or win some more. But it's really fantastic.
You've really, you're the trends king, and you pointed out my own trends to me, and I've learned from my lesson. I've learned my lesson here. You pointed out to me, you're really good in odd quarters and really bad in even quarters, and it's so true. Yeah. I always win in the first quarter, and I always win my third quarter bets as well, and I never win my second quarter bets.
Never. I mean, never. In fact, on this show, we should probably mention, in all the celebrating, you did have the worst possible beat that any sports bettor could ever have.
I'll go through it quickly because I'm sure a lot of the people that are watching this show also watched us yesterday on the Broncos pregame. But yes. Second quarter, Ohio State -6.5 in the second quarter against Penn State. It hits. They win the quarter 10-3. The quarter is over. They have gone to commercial break. It is halftime. I'm counting my money, making a snack, doing all sorts of other stuff. And out of the corner of my eye, I see them come back on the TV, and they said, "We've got an odd situation here." And I'm like, the hell does that mean? And they said, it turns out Justin Fields, who was taking a knee to end the half, on fourth down, just needed to take 2 seconds off the clock. Only took 1 second off the clock before taking his knee, giving them an untimed or a 1 second free down from the 30-yard line. Or 33. They kick a 50-yard field goal to like. That was the moment where I'm just like, I can't win second quarter bet. Like, I have to swear off second quarter bets for the rest of my life.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's no other way. That was rough. I don't know. I
literally can't even win bets that I won.
It's unbelievable.
The hardest part was that it hit my account. Like, it was green. The money had already gone into my account. And I was just hoping like maybe DraftKings is just going to say like, well, once you've slid the money across the table, you can't take it back. But turns out they can. They can do whatever they want. It's just how that works. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Think if instead of making your snack, you just reinvested it all. Then what?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, what would they have done?
Like, is it a pending?
Bet my whole account
right
on something in that time? Like, would they have avoided that bet, taken it? I don't know. We can ask our friends.
Yeah.
And to the commenter here who said, can't trust two dudes wearing sunglasses indoors. Look, man, when you win, you get to wear sunglasses. Those are the rules around here. We didn't make the rules. We just follow them. And we got dubs this weekend, so that's what we're doing.
Lots of them. Yep.
Okay. So anyways, I'm going back to the well on Bucks -2.5 in the first quarter. I will not be doing anything with the second quarter for the rest of my life.
Yep. That's correct. Yeah, and I guess to some extent I'm going back to the well. Now, if you're in Ryan's winners lounge, inflated betting budget, value hunting mode, this isn't a bet for you. But however, if you're in for sure things right now, a Daniel Jones interception is basically a guarantee. It's why that's at -195. If you do want more value, though, these cornerbacks for the Bucks have been really impressive, really one of the better coach defenses in the league. Carlton Davis to get an interception at +320, or Jamel Dean at +490, both really nice value bets. I think I'll be like splitting a unit between those two. And that'll be my sprinkle, my little allotment there. And I'm intrigued, but now that I like the +12.5, maybe I'm going to stay away. Under 16.5 for the Giants is calling to me, but I just get a feeling Daniel Jones is going to get is going to backdoor it here. So I actually am staying away from that right now.
Oh yeah, I kind of like that. The under there. I realize you can't do that if you're taking the plus money. Probably not. But
yeah,
I'm trying to find this stat that Brandon sent us this week about Daniel Jones turnovers, because it is truly the worst stat I've ever heard about any quarterback. Here we go. He's played in 20 games, Andre. 20 games.
Yep.
He's played in 20 games.
2-0.
In the 20 games, he has 19 interceptions. Okay, that's pretty bad. And 23 fumbles.
Yowza.
Let me just tell you that again. In 20 games, he has 19 interceptions and 23 fumbles. That is shocking.
42 turnovers in 20 career starts. Let that sink in, people.
Over 2 turnovers per game.
No, it's savage. It's absolutely savage.
If he wasn't a, I don't even know what to call him, like a GM favorite, like the GM, bent over backwards for him, no one really knew why, and still doesn't.
Right.
He'd be done.
Yeah. Yeah, if he wasn't a pound-the-table guy.
You do not get to turn over the ball like that as a young, as a rookie and second-year player and get away with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you really shouldn't, but it's why I love the interceptions. I wish I could bet on fumbles. I mean, fumbles are the real guarantee. He's just a fumbling machine.
I wish I could bet on like a Shaq Barrett strip sack.
But see, Shaq Barrett's sack, you can get a decent value, and that's how those fumbles come about, is he's just holding on to the ball forever. So guys like Shaq Barrett and Ndamukong Suh, those guys are going to feast. Those are going to be nice value plays for you.
That might be my, my throw the dart of the night, trying to get some value. It is Shaq Barrett. See, you don't get good value there. Shaq Barrett's sack over 0.5 is -143. I was hoping we might have an over 1.5.
You know what I'm doing, Ryan? I'm ready to go back to first touchdown score. I'm tired of everyone being able to win these and not me. and I'm going with my favorite, Tom Brady, to score the first touchdown.
Stop.
Love a good quarterback run. He is the QB sneak king. All I need is Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette or Gronkowski to get me right at the 1 and then TB12 to pop it in. I think it can happen.
It can happen. What's the value?
Plus 2,200.
It's pretty good. We like Gronk in this game. Well, actually, let's talk about the odds boosts here in a second. But first, a shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook, presenting sponsor of this show. Head on over to DraftKings Sportsbook, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app, and get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR at sign-up. That sign-up bonus of $1,000 when you use the code DNVR at sign-up at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's simply the best. Simply the best. The app is more user-friendly than any of the other apps. There are always awesome promotions like that 20% parlay that I hit big on yesterday. There's always something good. And, of course, every week they have a 1 to win 100 sign-up bonus when you just got to put down $1 and win 100 on whatever is kind of the flavor of the week there. So always something awesome at DraftKings Sportsbook. Always fun odds boosts, which we're going to get to here in a second, that they just give out every single day. Fun little bets that you can get on and get a little extra cash. If you hit them, they're always great. They're always fun. So head over to DraftKings Sportsbook and use the code DNVR when you sign up to make sports more fun. That's what this does. It makes sports more fun to watch. Of course, you must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Bonus comprises of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires 25x playthrough. Restrictions to apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, the odds boost today. Off the top, I hate this one. Tom Brady to throw 3+ touchdowns, plus 235. It's not enough value for how much legwork has to be done there, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a smart call. That's bait right there.
That is bait. Daniel Jones over 260.5 combined rushing and receiving yards.
I think that's happening.
Oh, plus 130.
He's their entire offense, right?
So you got to get, 30 rushing yards to feel good about this?
Yeah, 30,
I guess
40.
No, you don't. I actually think you need 0 rushing yards to feel good about this. There's a good chance he's going to throw for a lot of yards.
100%. Yeah, a lot of garbage yards. They're not going to be able to run on Tampa. It's going to be Daniel Jones dropping back, throwing out picks, fumbling up a ton, and putting up yards.
The thing that scares me, though, is if they're in a pass-first situation where they're down 14, this Buccaneers pass rush is going to eat him for dinner.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if he's going to have time to get big passes off.
Yeah. I don't know, Ryan. I think it's happening. I think we're at the point where we're past the offensive heavy. We're past the preseason. All these games are evening out a little more. Even the bad NFL teams are kind of finding ways to make stuff happen. I think the Giants, while they'll look bad, won't look typically as bad as the Giants would against a very good team in the Buccaneers. Maybe the best team in the NFL.
And then this one is probably my favorite one, although it is definitely bait. But it could be good bait. Rob Gronkowski to score the first touchdown, plus 1320. That's juicy.
I mean, if you're not taking Brady, that's a juicy one for sure. That's a juicy one.
It's really juicy.
Yeah, that's quite intriguing.
He loves throwing to him down there, especially on like third down when things get tough.
He's a great red zone target. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a smart play. That's not a bad play at all.
It's plus 1322. That's really what really gets me excited about. Like that's a lot. It's boosted up from plus 1100. So that's like a big boost too.
It's terrific value. I like that quite a bit.
All right. Well, I think we have a nice little slate going here. Anything else on your mind in the betting world today?
Yeah, kind of talked myself into this Monday night, which was kind of uninspiring leading up, but is much more inspiring now. Do I have any more bets for you? Well, by the time we record the show tomorrow, I won't have a chance to dish out this Champions League parlay to you. So just off the fly, as I would do in my personal life, and these hit,
1% of the time.
Yeah, one every 15, maybe.
That's more than 1%.
I'm gonna offer this out, and there you go. We're gonna take Atletico Madrid. This is just the Tuesday Champions League games. Love Gladbach, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yes, of course, as you know. Mönchengladbach.
Madrid, Inter. Go Madrid. That's a nice one. Go Bayern Munich. City, we're staying away. And take the big one, the value hunter, is take the tie in Atalanta Liverpool plus 290. No one's going to see that coming. Atalanta not so good in the league games because they're doing all the work in the Champions League. Liverpool's winning, but they're looking a little shaky. That's going to be a tie, and that's going to make this parlay happen. So there you go.
What do we got on the value there?
On the value, I need to.
You have to clear the bet slip.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it.
No, okay. It's right here.
Well, while you're okay.
Plus 2,699.
All right. Well, if you trust Andre's 1 in 15 parlay is gonna hit tomorrow, there you go. A couple of questions here from Machiavelli. Fading Mike Evans and Ronald Jones today. I'm in on fading Mike Evans. He has not been consistent in that offense, but we like Ronald Jones tonight.
Yeah, but fading Mike Evans. My problem is just finding good bets to fade Mike Evans. Like I can't bet Mike Evans to not get a touchdown. I could bet the unders on his receiving yards and receptions, which I think would be intriguing.
Let me see what that is really quick.
Yeah.
Under on receiving yards is
56.5. Love it.
Under 56.5. That's minus 115. That is nice. So what is going on there? Why don't they use him?
Brady's just not an outside wide receiver guy. He
liked Randy Moss.
Yeah, I mean that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like it was yesterday? Because it does to me.
It feels like a long time ago.
That was, I think, 13 years ago, which is wild. Yeah, it's just weird they don't use him. So 56.5 receiving yards.
Maybe under 4.5 receptions is more juicy.
Under 4.5 receptions. If I'm thinking that about usage here, I'm going to under 4.5 receptions because I feel like it's not unlikely for Brady to see one matchup that he likes on the outside, get single coverage, and throw a 50-yard pass.
Exactly. You don't get burned by the one big play. That's why I like it. He is the best odds to score a touchdown tonight is Mike Evans. Once in a while, he does get that 1 yard screen there, but I don't know. He seems to be overvalued. And which is normal. Like he's the biggest fantasy player of the night. He's the guy the public knows most, so he's going to get the best odds to score a touchdown. But yes, I think fading Mike Evans is a smart strategy.
And then B. Rocco says Gronk over 3.5 receptions. We already gave that one out. We love that one. Then here from the Mr. Bernardi 3, Ronald Jones to score first plus 750. I guess you do get the touchdown protection from DraftKings if you do that. So it's okay. I'm on Gronk.
I love Rojo to kind of be like the catalyst and the guy they ride late. But those Bucks, they're so pesky when they get down in the red zone because obviously they have a lot of options. There's the Brady sneak and play. There's Gronk, Evans, screen. You've just got too much working again. And then there's always sneaky Fournette to get his heavy, heavy ass in the game and ruin that for you. So that one I'd steer away from.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, there it is. You guys have it. Our favorite ones, again, to reiterate, over 61.5 rushing yards for Ronald Jones, over 3.5 receptions for Rob Gronkowski. Those are our two favorite picks of the night. Plenty of more stuff on there if you go back and listen to the show if you're just joining to us. But that's what we're going with tonight, and that's going to wrap it up for us on today's edition of DNVR Bets Daily. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.